Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's flight took an unusually long detour on its way from Tel Aviv to New York on Thursday, charting a route that noticeably skipped over most of European airspace and sparking curiosity about why the flight path avoided its usual corridors. Netanyahu departed Tel Aviv Wednesday evening for the UN General Assembly and a meeting with US President Donald Trump. Flight tracking data shows that Netanyahu's official jet, named the Wing of Zion, Israel's equivalent of Air Force One, took a significantly indirect and looping route across the Mediterranean. Instead of flying directly, the jet followed a roundabout path that led it all the way out to the Strait of Gibraltar and into the Atlantic Ocean. It actually only passed briefly over countries like Greece and Italy during its journey before continuing on its strange extended course. Normally, flights from Israel to New York take a route that passes through French airspace. Netanyahu's flight reportedly took 13 hours, stretching well beyond the usual duration of just under 11 hours for a commercial flight between Tel Aviv and JFK Airport. In November, the International Criminal Court had issued an arrest warrant for the Israeli Prime Minister. The court accused him of involvement in war crimes and crimes against humanity in Gaza. The quickest and most direct flight routes from Israel to New York typically cross over countries like France, Spain, Portugal, Ireland and the UK. But since all these nations are ICC members, they would be legally obligated to detain Netanyahu if he were to fly through their airspace. The question of whether a country would physically force Netanyahu's plane to land remains contested. But if the plane ever had to make an unexpected or emergency touchdown, the legal stakes would be clear-cut. According to AFP, which quoted a French diplomatic source, France had given Israel clearance to use its airspace for Thursday's flight. But in the end, the jet never entered French skies, suggesting the route may have been altered along the way. Relations between Netanyahu and French President Macron have deteriorated recently, a shift highlighted by France's formal recognition of a Palestinian state last week. Breaking from usual protocol, no journalists were allowed on board the Wing of Zion this time. The Financial Times, citing a source, reported that the decision was explained as a matter of security concerns. Reports emerged earlier that to accommodate the extra fuel needed for the longer flight path, some journalists and members of Netanyahu's team were left behind and did not join the trip.